Alaska is not a place that forgives weakness. Stretching across the northern edge of the continent, this vast and unforgiving land is home to some of the most powerful creatures on Earth. Its rivers run fast and ice-cold, fed by ancient glaciers that have shaped this landscape for thousands of years. And every summer, when the salmon begin their upstream journey, the brown bears of Alaska follow. They gather at the riverbanks in their dozens, fishing with practiced patience, filling their bodies with enough fuel to survive the brutal winter ahead. For a mother bear and her cub, this season is everything. It is survival. It is instinct. And on one quiet morning along the Kenai River, it nearly became a tragedy. The mother had been fishing since dawn. She was experienced, powerful, and efficient, everything a bear in Alaska needs to be. Her cub stayed close, as cubs always do in their first year, watching her every move, learning the rhythm of the river. But the young bear was curious, as all young animals are, and the rushing water at the bank's edge held a strange and dangerous fascination. The rocks were wet. The current was strong, and in a single unguarded moment, the cub lost its footing. It happened fast. The small bear slid from the bank and hit the water with a splash that the current swallowed instantly. The river grabbed it and pulled, cold and relentless, dragging the cub downstream before it had any chance to react. But just below the surface, half hidden beneath the overhang of the eroded bank, a tangle of exposed tree roots jutted out into the water. The cub collided with them and grabbed hold. Both front paws locked around the root with a grip born entirely of fear. The water rushed past its chest, its chin, pulling at its small body with enormous force. But the cub did not let go. It hung there, suspended between the bank and the current, too frightened to call out, too exhausted to climb. The mother, still upstream, had not yet noticed. The river was loud. The morning was wide and empty. And the cub simply held on, its dark eyes fixed on nothing, its whole body trembling against the cold. Half a mile downstream, a lone fisherman was making his way upriver in a flat-bottomed aluminum boat. He had been on the Kenai dozens of times. He knew its bends, its moods, its silences. He was not in a hurry. The salmon would come. They always did. He let the boat drift close to the bank, scanning the water the way experienced fishermen do, slowly, methodically, missing nothing. That was when he saw it. At first it looked like debris. A dark shape pressed against the roots near the waterline, barely visible beneath the overhang of the bank. But then it moved. Just slightly. Just enough. The fisherman cut his engine and let the boat glide forward. And as the mist thinned and the distance closed, what he saw made his breath stop. A bear cub, tiny and soaked, was clinging to a submerged root with everything it had. Its head was tilted back, nose just above the surface, eyes wide and unblinking. It was alive. But it would not be for long. He did not overthink it. He brought the boat alongside the bank, leaned over the side, and reached down with both hands.
You are safe now.
The cub did not fight him. Animals in crisis often go still when help arrives, as if something deep in their instincts recognizes the difference between a threat and a lifeline. The fisherman gripped the small wet body firmly and lifted it clear of the water in one steady motion, setting it down on the floor of the boat. The cub lay still for a moment, chest heaving, water streaming from its fur. The fisherman turned the boat toward shore. He did not step out. He simply guided the bow onto the gravel bank, let it settle, and watched. The cub raised its head, looked toward the tree line, and found its legs. It stepped off the boat onto the stones as if it had always known where it was going. It disappeared into the brush without a sound. Seconds later, the tree line moved. The mother bear stepped out, massive and alert, her nose working the air. She crossed the gravel in 4 strides and reached her cub. She pressed her nose into its fur, read it from head to tail, and pulled it close against her side. Whatever had happened, whatever the river had taken from her for those few terrible minutes, it was over now. She turned and walked her cub back into the forest. The fisherman watched them go. He sat in his boat on the gravel bank, engine off, river running past him, and he watched until the trees swallowed them both completely. Then he pushed off from the shore, restarted his motor, and headed back upstream. The Kenai moved around him the same as it always had, fast, cold, indifferent, but something about the morning felt different now. Quieter. Cleaner. Like the river itself had decided, just this once, to let something small and helpless go.